Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
Not every child is going to get a blue ribbon, but unfortunately, that's what we do. We reward every kid like they're all the same, and it's not true.
Accepting our children for everything that makes them unique. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. There will soon be more help for our local youth dealing with behavioral health problems.
It's part of Sanford's Adolescent Partial Hospital Program. Valley News Team's Cornelius Hocker shows us how this program will differ from other options already here in the Valley.
So this is where we'll bring the kids right away in the morning. They'll have the tutor.
Excitement fills every room that will soon be part of Sanford's Adolescent Partial Hospital Program, aimed to help 12 to 17-year-olds with behavioral health disorders.
There's so much pressure on kids these days to be successful, and if they don't make A's in everything, they think somehow they're a failure.
Dr. Charlotte Seaman says that pressure doesn't stop with grades.
There are problems, obviously, with bullying, inappropriate use of social media, drugs and alcohol, families that are not together, split up, divorced parents who are, passing their kids back and forth between them and missing things that are falling between the cracks.
It'll be a family affair when the kids come for treatment.
Stress among family members or some other external family situations are causing the kids stress. So it's really important that we invite the parents in and have the parents and kids work together in order to work on the things that are going on.
This comfort room might be empty now, but Dr. Landauer says whenever the program begins, it's going to be filled with beanbag chairs and other stress relievers for kids who might feel overwhelmed during treatment.
Treatment that will stand apart from Prairie St. John's in a few different ways.
We don't have an inpatient program for children, and the difference would be we're trying to catch kids in the community who are not needing the higher end level of care right away to begin with. Maybe we could stabilize them at this level.
And what's the other major difference?
To begin with, we're only going to have 8 patients in the adolescent program, and typically the numbers run much higher than that in that other program.
Lower numbers and a greater impact they hope will shape the future of this community for years to come.
I hope that they think that it's been a beneficial service to the community, that they know that when kids come here, it's a chance for them to be able to work on things and prevent them from going to needing a higher level of care.
Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
To be part of this program, which begins next Monday, your child must get a referral from a doctor who thinks they could benefit from this treatment.
Local parents are upset after an incident on a Fargo public school bus. The parents told Valley News Live the driver of the bus was yelling at kids and at one point threw a backpack, hitting one of the children. They're concerned with how their kids are being treated and are looking for answers.
My daughter got hit in the eye with the backpack because of you. And he goes, she's fine. And I said, she's not fine. I said, that's not an apology. Not even an apology. He was getting angrier and angrier, so we ended up leaving off the bus.
The parents we talked to also say a couple of kids on that bus route were kicked off the route. Valley Bus Company confirmed after watching footage from the bus that some kids were misbehaving, adding that the bus driver handled the situation wrong.
That's a challenge to watch the road, drive safely, and manage 60 kids that you have your back to. So all of the cooperation that we get from parents and kids to keep behavior as calm as possible is really appreciated.
They also said the driver is new at the job and has been taken off the afternoon bus route.
2 men were arrested after they tried stealing over $900 worth of electronics from the Dilworth Walmart. Dilworth police attempted to stop these two, Jason and Jeremy Olson, while they attempted to push out over $900 worth of computers in a shopping cart. Jason tried to run, but officers detained both men shortly after. Officers allowed Jason Olson to use the restroom in Walmart, where he made another attempt to flee on foot before quickly being tackled again. Jason is currently detained at the Clay County Jail pending a hearing, and Jeremy was released with no charges at this time.
North Dakota's health department says there's been a slight increase in influenza H1N1 virus activity for the last several weeks. The health department says this strain has circulated seasonally since the 2009 pandemic and appears to have a larger impact on children and working-aged adults. Everyone 6 months of age and older is recommended to be vaccinated against influenza annually. Vaccine is available at clinics, local public health units, and pharmacies.
The new year always fires up people to better themselves, and it can happen in the form of a resolution or simply deciding that something needs to be done.
Well, such is the case for me. Late last year, I was pushing between 220 and 225 pounds. I'm about 6 feet 1 inches tall, so clearly I was carrying more than I wanted. My diet needed to be overhauled, included too much soda and snacking. As far as working out, yeah, I mow my lawn, but I walk from a golf cart to my golf ball and then back to my golf cart, and that's about it. Maybe there are some of you out there that can relate. Regardless, I started my journey the first of the year, and it continues today. At the end of this story, I'll update you on what my weight was this morning. Hi there, Mike Morgan.
Hi, I'm Karma, trading manager here. Nice to meet you.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah.
You're going to take it easy on me?
I will try. I won't try to kill you too much on the first day. Take it easy.
I need some help.
You need some help? Well, we can do that here.
The easy part was deciding before the holidays to go in and sign up at the Family Wellness Center in South Fargo. Once inside, I quickly found myself feeling a little intimidated. There were rows of different machines. I was unsure how each worked and how they might help me out. A feeling, I was told later, that's experienced by many newcomers.
For most people who are unfamiliar with the gym experience, then yes.
I came here with goals. I wanted to drop weight, and I thought easily 20 pounds, especially around the midsection. Over the past couple of decades, I haven't done very much in the way of exercise, kind of like the Tin Man in a rainstorm. And I wanted to develop a more active life and a healthier way to live it.
Someone might be interested in weight loss. Maybe somebody just needs to get back to activity.
Leading the charge for me would be trainer Karma DeVillers.
Okay.
Forward.
How many?
Sides. We'll do 8.
After an initial consultation, she mapped out what would be roughly a 2-month workout plan.
Those programs are designed specifically to each individual.
She makes me do things I would never make myself do because it's hard.
For Shelley Lesterberg, her journey began about 14 years ago.
It's amazing what you can do if you just keep at it. It really is.
It's evolved into working out 5 days a week and includes swimming, the gym, and yoga.
How better do you feel now versus when the journey began?
Oh, 100% better. I've lost about 20 pounds, and that, was a slow process, but, it was a good one. I feel way better. I'm much stronger than I ever would have been if I wasn't doing this.
And it's stories like Shelley's that in part inspire someone like myself, even at this early stage. My plan of attack began the first of this year and will continue through February. At that time, we'll assess my progress.
Karma, how important is it to set reasonable goals and leave some room for failure?
If you're always setting goals that you know you're going to hit, then I feel like your motivation isn't going to be as high to really strive to those tougher goals that might be a little bit beyond what you might think that you can do.
Spoken like a trainer. Now, as far as my weight this morning, I jumped on the scale and here's what it told me, 214.1. Keep in mind, I have until the end of the month. Tonight was the first of 4 stories on my journey over the next 3 Thursday nights. Here on Valley News Live 10 at 10, I'll be reporting on things like exercising and what part of the body that they focus on. I think you'll find a lot of interest in the story that I have for you on dieting. In it, we're going to throw out the idea of 3 square meals a day. It's time to return to how eating was real early on for all of us. And probably the most important story will be the final one. We're going to check my results, not just my weight, but we're also going to do a blood test as well to figure out, and also to try to figure out a way to sustain this process, not just for today and tomorrow, but over the long haul. If you can't catch all of these stories, don't worry about it. They're going to be posted on our website at valleynewslive.com. And certainly, if you have some helpful advice for me and others, post it on our Facebook page.